there ever a valid excuse for committing a crime? For money? For love? For pride?
Reports of violent crime on the rise in some cities in California, Los Angeles and San Francisco.
A spike in violent crime in the first few months of this year.
Sydney's gun war has reached a deadly crescendo with 2 men executed.
Last week, we met the young, rugby-playing Fijian, Sam. You know, the one who took the piss out of my Pommy accent. It was an encouraging first week, but this week, well, I wasn't ready for this week. We settled down. 14 men, 3 volunteers, 2 hours, 1 circle. The men were told to stand in a circle, and in the middle of the circle was a bowl of water. A rock was dropped into the bowl of water, and the men observed. As expected, there was a big initial impact, and then there were ripples for a long time after. This shows that every action has an initial effect, but then also effects that can last for a long time. This is known as the ripple effect. This week, we had another man with us. He was here to tell his story. His name is Ross.
Early morning, it was 6 a.m. I was at work and I'd heard that there'd been a triple murder in Toowoomba. I got a phone call from Johnny, our youngest son, JT, that something had happened at Michael's unit. We then drove into Toowoomba, as you do, thinking the worst. We had another phone call saying that we had to go to the police station instead of going to Michael's unit. It was then when we got to the police station that they informed us that Michael had been murdered along with 2 of his students, and that's when our world fell apart.
Silence. An uncomfortable length of silence. I looked around the room and it was an image I won't forget for a long time, as I saw grown men literally shrink inside themselves. Ross's story, his reality, is harrowing and a stark reminder of what humans are capable of. To find out more about Ross's story, head over to the All Change Facebook page. The silence was ended by Ross asking the men if they had any other questions. But what could these men possibly ask? I again was sat next to Sam, and I saw his arm go up, and I was worried. What words could he possibly have to say? Thank you. Thank you for coming and telling your story. I understand how hard it is. A noble gesture, and powerful from someone inside prison. But how could he possibly understand Ross's pain? Now, this is a man who caused the pain, the perpetrator. He served several sentences. How could he understand the pain that Ross had felt? From the right-hand corner of my eye, I could see a big man with a bald head and several tattoos. His shoulders were so hunched, I thought he was going to fall forward out of his chair. The man, Tim, eked out a question. Do you think I'm responsible? I mean, I had taken ice and cocaine. I didn't need to do what I had done. You could tell from the conflict in the man's face, the question didn't need answering. I guess that is the uniqueness of the course. This week was tough. I felt exhausted. These guys were having to deal with emotions that they might have never felt before. I was worried. Would the guys even turn up next week? Join me next Thursday to find out whether they did. In the meantime, head over to the All Change Facebook page. Join me next Thursday for the next instalment of All Change.